Darkforce. He's such a good player in the European scene that he's amazing. He's won so much stuff. He's been in so many different live events. A little bit.
Yeah, he has a reputation for being a relatively outspoken guy. Hesitate to use the term BM, but actually, I'm very, very happy to decide to sign up for this. He is a very, very good player. He is spawning as our Red Zerg here at the top right-hand corner of Zelniga Caverns, his opponent at the bottom left-hand corner. And don't forget, guys, we are actually in the round of 8 now, so the winner of this match will actually advance to the semifinals, just one match away from the qualification spot at the UK LAN.
Absolutely.
So his opponent down here at the bottom left-hand corner is our green Protoss player. That's Rox's Titan. As we discovered before, not to be confused with VVV Titan, the Zerg player. So yes,
we were definitely not doing research on that right before the cast. We were definitely not doing.
But we're prepared, so it's okay. Don't worry about it. Okay, so here we are.
And kind of a fun backstory for the tournament, because I actually ran this tournament last Saturday, which is, I mentioned a couple people in the chat talking about how recent these games were. All these games were from just on Saturday, so that is as far back as they go. And it was great because Roxas actually came out in quite a lot of force. There was a lot of Roxas players out there, and it was great to see a clan, and I could tell they were supporting each other throughout the event. So it was great, and there's only a few clan kills, which was fantastic.
That's really awesome to know. So I may have to jump by and help you run this week's tournament. It'd be kind of cool. But here we go. Looks like Darkforce actually opening with a Speedling build. It was 14 gas, 14 pool. How is Titan going to respond, though? He's actually not walling
off,
and there's a Speedling build coming out. This could end poorly.
This could be very unfortunate for him.
Yes.
I don't know why you would ever not wall off against a Zerg.
Okay.
I mean, maybe that's my lack of game knowledge showing or something, but I've never not walled off against a Zerg, and it's usually worked out pretty well for me.
It's if you're super, super confident in your timings to a T, and I mean to a T, to the second, you can get away with getting a little bit more macro out of putting your buildings closer to your base, obviously. But this is still extremely risky. So he needs another 150 and a gateway stat.
There's already 4 lings on the way. Speed has started. He really needs to get this going.
And we'll see if he decides to. No, he's not going to obviously drop a pylon because he needs all the resources he can get back at home. Yep. There is a pylon back inside his base, but man, our first 4 lings are actually coming out, and Titan is not defended for the moment.
Yeah, let's hope he puts down a gateway and gets defended relatively quickly. That would be the
Darkforce is just operating under the assumption that there's no possible way he would not wall. And so he only sent 1 scouting link down, which is actually going to get repelled eventually. Darkforce is actually... Oh, wow. Wait, what's that coming up? Was that Robo?
There's another gateway.
Wait, that wasn't another gateway?
I believe.
Okay. Maybe
Chad's probably going to tell me I'm wrong.
Yes.
That's normally how it works.
He probably forgot Darkforce was Zerg. No, actually, he didn't actually believe that.
But it's going to turn out well for him, and he was able to get that early macro advantage, so apparently we're wrong and he's right.
Yeah, here we go. And let's see, there's the Forge coming up as well. We'll see if he can... This is just so weird. 2 gate plus 1?
Interesting.
I don't know, yeah.
Build. Okay. Normally, you would see people start to put down pylons and forges at the bottom of the ramp and go for a Forge FE, but he is just putting buildings down willy-nilly, is as close to I can get. And he's getting armor.
All right.
He's getting armor.
3 gate with plus 1 armor, it looks like. And back on Darkforce side of things, it looks like I love the one guy in chat. He's like, "Do these guys not know that White Raw popularized this build?" He's like a devout White Raw viewer, and he's like, "This has clearly been popularized by White Raw." So I'm sure Alexi will yell at me at some point, but frankly, I don't care.
I don't think he'll ever do that. I don't think he'll ever yell at anyone.
Oh, that's true, actually. All the time. Actually, when he needed to leave our offices really quick because he actually had somewhere else to be, he was still super mannered about it, even though he was late. Anyway, so here we go. Darkforce going to make his way in a second with, no, the scouting links are repelled at the moment, but the Nexus is coming up. He sees the timing on the expansion and is moving into Roach Warren plus Evolution Chamber.
Yes, so it'll be interesting to see if he's going Roaches to go as more of a stopgap, or if he's going to try to do heavy Roach bust of the Expo. So, I mean, right now it looks like he's mainly got a lot of sentries, which is fantastic against Roaches, but at some point you do need something to kill the Roaches too. So he's got 4 gates with the +1 armor coming up. I wonder if this will even potentially be a cancel
We'll find out. Given the positioning of the one up here at the top, I would assume it's going to be, although I have seen some players that look like they're going to do that, and then they just decided to keep it up anyway because they found that their attack was decent enough at forcing their opponent to overproduce units and they can't break through. But Darkforce is going all out Roach Ling.
He's fine. Even if this is a cancel, it's not going to be an issue. I don't know where Titan's forces are. Like it's way too late to do this. You got to be more proactive with scouting, and he just let everything.
Okay.
Well, I mean, with amazing force fields, he should be backing off and saving his troops, but it's not looking like he's doing that. He's going to let these get surrounded and killed.
Until they got the reinforcements up there, though. I will say his control has been good, whereas Dark Forces in this engagement has been a little bit lacking, but Dark Force just has too many units.
Yeah, Dark Force also doesn't need it.
He has too much stuff. Exactly. Titan Titan actually did a pretty good job of leading Lings away and making his units pretty cost effective. This is just too much stuff. Dark Force just keeps flooding it in.
Too close to Dark Force's base. And it felt like the timing was just a little bit off. It felt like it should have come a little bit sooner, have the proxy pylons down a little bit sooner, and just be a little bit more aggressive with his earlier units.
Right.
So, I mean, he's pushing it back here, but I don't believe it's going to end up being a successful attack. I would really like to see him pull back his units, get energy back on his sentries, and then try to continue the game out rather than keeping it as it is right now.
And his only hope is that he can just keep Dark Force at bay for long enough because he is kicking in on 2-base economy.
Completely out of sentry energy right now.
Yeah, and that does not bode well when roaches are poised to just overrun you.
Yep. At this point, pull back. He could have saved all those 6 sentries. they're on even bases. Dark Force hasn't produced a drone in quite a while. He could have pulled this out, and now he's 30. He's almost 32 supply down. And it's gonna be ugly right now. So.
Oh wow, Ling's actually picking off sentries before they were even throwing up force fields there. The last remaining force field got thrown up kind of nowhere, and yeah, a lot of probes are being pulled at the moment. Titan has already lost 5 workers, and that number is going to continue to climb. Looks like the first round of Dark Forces units may get driven off, but this is when Pain User says, "But at what cost?" And third base is coming up now for Dark Force in addition to Layer Tech.
So Dark Force is playing this very smartly. He could tell, I believe, that the sentry energy was falling low, so he knew he just had to continue on the pressure. At the same time, he's pushing his forces back. He's taking his third. He's going to make sure his win is secured. He's going to be able to deny the second here, and Titan's just going to have to go to game 2 at this point.
Yeah, and, oh wow, actually most of those units getting surrounded. Oh yeah, I'll throw a force field down there, why not? Unfortunately though, Titan is going to lose the last remaining units. Oh, poor probe. You do not know what you just got yourself into. Return that trip of minerals. Wow, he actually did return 5 minerals. Well done, sir.
If that probe lives...
And we'll hold on to it.
There's 2 now.
I'll keep it
He's
selected.
got a buddy.
I'll keep it selected.
Okay.
And last
he does have
couple of stalkers falling.
He does have +1 armor.
It makes all the difference in the world.
Oh, Joe the probe.
Joe the probe. Thank you, Sarah Palin. The Zealot is going to fall. There's the GG. That's what we were looking for. Dark Force takes game number 1.